Good evening everyone. Today is my 83 day of improving my public speaking skills. And honestly, I repeat the video that I take now for the reason that I need to retake it to check myself. Wow, to check myself. And today is Sunday and it's the end of the tropical storm, the Remel that we have experienced yesterday. And for the whole day in the morning, we are grateful that we don't experience a heavy rain, although there's quite a few drops of rain, but it's not heavy as it was yesterday. I'm also having the hard time in having a good signal in our location for the reason that when I started to play these online games called Mobile Legends, I get to have AFK because it was so laggy and I tend to quit it mid-game. That's all for today, and the result of the tropical storm yesterday was quite horrendous, and it really have more damage than it was expected, especially in the location of in the Ruhas. I'm currently in in our barangay, and we don't actually experience a large scale of what we call flooding, because even though we are near in the coastal area, we have a lot of sand and trees, especially the coconut tree that help us also to absorb the drops of rain, and also the waves, the water in the waves that comes in our place, in our land. But then in the Rojas, in the Rojas, especially in the place of Barangay Tisa and the Rojas Avenue, they experience quite large of flood, and even the street is filled of water. Even the Memorial Hospital are filled with water. Actually, this was the first time, as what I have said yesterday, it was the first time for us to experience this kind of flooding. It was never been experienced before, although it's been experienced before, but not that totally worse than it was right now. Maybe the reason was it involves to the improvements of the industrial of our place, especially in the Baybay, in the Roa City Baybay, wherein it was renovated to be concreted in the area of the side of the Baybay. Because in the past it was only a sand, but today it was concrete. And actually it made the Roa City more beautiful, but then I think, in my own opinion, it's one of the reason why it was resulted to that kind of flooding, that it make it worse. Yan. Honestly, the land of the Roa City is always full of sand, especially in the part of in the Lipunan. As what I have remembered in the past, it was sand, but then today it's all concrete. And the purpose was to make the province a more beautiful, and to attract a tourist, to be a tourist spot. And it was actually a huge success, but then it also limit the absorption of the water when it comes to a heavy pouring of rain. And also the implementation of the drainage process in the drainage, it also affect the flooding, I think, in our place in the province. There's actually a few there's actually a group of drunkyard near in our house, and they are having the time of their life. They're having a party and they're being too loud, but I know that as time goes by, it will sort out into a reckless fight, because it always been like that. That's all for today, and as per in the important advisory from our mayor, we are being suspended. The classes was being suspended from the K to 12 up to the college level. We are suspended, and it was a good thing that they suspended it, because most of the province of the Capiz are full of flood, especially in the Sibagwan. I was so shocked to the videos that I have watched. The level of water, or the flood level, are more, it is so high that even the rooftop could be reached by the flood. The current of the water are also strong, especially on those who are in the near in the coastal area or in the river. We're just lucky in our place, to my family, that we are in the much more higher level. Our house is much more on a higher level ground than it was, although yes, it was not so near in the road, and we are lucky enough to don't experience the calamity of flooding. But then our rooftop are dripping when it when it have a heavy rain. Yeah, and that's the part that we have struggled for, but I think it can be solutionized by buying a Bolcasil, and I'm planning to do that. And I'm planning to do that as long as I have the budget or the money to buy so. That's all for my personal life, and I just want to share what I have done for today. It's all about the... Actually, I just want to think this on the spot. It was quite the frustration to have experienced this kind of calamity. Or yes, I know that the typhoon or the rain are natural occurrence, or a natural occurrence that can happen anytime and anywhere, but it can be prevented much more better than this. Our country was corrupted, and it was not only be blamed to the corrupt individuals or to the people, or no, not to the government or to the other management that are responsible or have the obligation to manage this kind of calamity, but it was also be blamed to the people who are blindly trusted to the politicians who are obviously don't have the capability to lead. And this was the result. We pay for the price that we cost, and it was so sad. It was so sad. Even though I'm not the very person that experienced the effect of flooding, but I can see the agonizing cries and pain and suffering of my fellow Capizeños, and not only in the area of Capiz, but also in the other areas of the Philippines, the other provinces or city of the Philippines. To my fellow Filipinos, they're suffering greatly, and it was just so sad to see it. That's why I have learned to try my best to not just inform myself when it comes to the truth, to voice out the things that needed to be heard, to voice out the things that affected us, not just for the short term but also for the long term, and to demand change and public service or good governance towards to the leaders who choose to lead. And I hope that the qualifications of the government official will be changed, not for the worse but for the better. I know it's gonna be as easy as it sounds, but it really needs to be changed. Because as it's stated in the 1987 Philippine Constitution, the qualification of just government polit government politician to have the qualification to run for an office is to able to read and write, nothing more. And I think it already too old or not applicable in our era, because we are almost of the people are given the opportunity to learn, to have an education, even a free tuition. And I think it will be unreasonable if the qualification of the government will still be in a old, like in the Old Testament. It should be improved in a better way, but it was easier to say than done. I don't know. I cannot middle, but I can voice out. I cannot change the whole system, but I can change the minds of the people to be aware, just like that. And to have an awareness within myself too, to be more open to the happenings in my environment. That's all for today. Michaela, continue to be more consistent for your videos, no matter how you feel or what situation you're in. Please prioritize this goal. Are you busy or you have this busy schedule ahead? Please kindly put that aside and prioritize this goal. Continue to aim for the best and to take a challenge. And also remember that progress shouldn't be comfortable. If you're being comfortable to your progress, to your goals, meaning you don't challenge yourself enough, you're not improving enough. And if you don't challenge yourself enough, you're not improving. Continue to take the risk. You're doing well. And it will be a few weeks. And it's gonna be your last teenager year. You're gonna be 20. Yay! You see the glimpse of the result and you know it's always gonna be worth it. And always finish what you start. That's all. Thank you.